Hey, we're going to tell you how to remove the radio and the RAM. This vehicle came to us without the radio in it, so we're just going to go through the steps. There's a little rubber piece up here. Take that out. There's two T20s. Remove those. The rest of the dash is held in by snaps, so gonna hold on the edges, and just unsnap. Your head kind of unsnapped already. You're not going to see the plugs, but maybe through the window here. Just unplug everything. Move it to the side. And you'll have 4 7mm here holding the radio in. Take those 4 7mm out, the radio will slide out. There's either going to be 1 or 2 connectors, main connectors. You unplug those, and there'll be an antenna connection on one side. Unplug that, and that's all there is to the disassembly. All right, now we're gonna disassemble the main unit. Take this out of your 9500, 8500 box. This is a 9500. Take the 2 screws at the top. Top cover off. To the side. Now we're gonna take the front cover off. Pry up the tabs. Remove that. Now we're gonna take these 2 screws out. We're going to take this heatsink off. There's 4 screws, take those out. Move the heatsink by pulling straight up. Put that to the side. We'll remove this ribbon cable by flipping this bar up. Like that. Slide that out. We're going to take this antenna connection off, pry evenly on both sides, pull straight up. Now we're going to take these 4 screws out on both sides. All right, now we're going to slide this out. Housing, put this aside for now. We're going to disassemble this. Now we're going to take the antenna off of here. Take the antenna off. We're going to take this board off. Okay, we're going to take these 2 screws out. All right, so now we're going to start the assembly of this. Within your kit, you're going to get brackets that look like this. 2s will have 2 will have lefts on them, 2s will have rights on them. So the right bracket goes on this side, and the left brackets go on this side. So a piece goes on the inside like this. The silver screws that we took out of the side carrier is what we're going to use. Put that on here. This is the left bracket, so we're going to put that. We're going to line this up. So the carrier is pretty much just behind the bracket right there. So we take this, line the holes up. All right, we're threading into the plastic on the back. Do not over tighten, it's just plastic. All right, same for the other side. Do not over tighten. All right, if you did it right, these brackets will be just behind the face like that. Now we're going to go ahead and slide this on the front. So this is the top. Slide it on like this. We're going to put the 4 screws that came in the kit. This would be the 4 screws. Okay, ribbon cable came with the kit. We're going to feed it through here. We're going to fully insert it into the connector here. We're going to make sure it's perfectly straight. And then flip the bar down on top of it, which will lock it in place. Now we're going to take our antenna, the screw we took out, it's a black one. I'm going to attach it to this piece right here. 8500 bracket looks a little different, but it's the same principle either way. Okay. We're going to go and snap this back on. Make sure you put it straight on. Goes in this connector right here. Take your time, not bend it. Okay, snaps on like that. Now we can put the heatsink back on. Watch this wire here when we put the heatsink on so you're not pinching it with screws. There, so these are the 4 small screws we took out. Just get them started. All right, now we're gonna put the cover back on. Those are the 3 screws we took out. All right, and that's that for that. All right, so now we're ready to prep the screen itself. We're going to take this carrier and move it down to the lower position. We're going to loosen these 2 screws on either side. And the one on top. All the way down. Tighten it back up. Now we're going to put on the side brackets. There's a right and a left. So as you're looking at it, this will be your right side, aka the passenger side. This will be the driver's side, aka the left side. So left will be on this side, right will be on this side. So we're going to attach them like this, using the machine screws that came with your kit. There'll be 4 of them, looking like this. Same thing on the other side. All right, so now we're going to take out these 2 screws here. And we're going to snap this cover off. Comes off. To the side. In your kit, you're going to get a piece that looks like this. On the back cover here, this will slide down. Slide it open. From earlier, the board we took out earlier. We're going to slide this in here, like that. So it's flush. Put the back cover back on, and slide it shut. Okay, now we're going to attach that to this by pushing down here, lining up the screw, just pushing straight down. Now we're going to put those 2 screws we just took out back in. All right, now before we get ready to install it, we need to take this little piece off right here. Okay, now we're ready to finish the bezel install. So now we're gonna take your bezel, upside down, goes on there like that. All right, now we're gonna take the main screen here, and take the piece in the kit. The texture side goes down. I'll go in here like this. If you're doing an 8500, you're going to have to place this down here like this first, and then slide this around this chassis carrier because it's wider. It does fit, we verified, but it is tight because we need it to be tight so the mount doesn't move around on you. So push it down there, line up your screw holes. Within the kit, you're going to get 4 3/4 inch screws. We recommend getting them all started before you crank them down. All right, we fold it over. Everything should be in place. Now you're ready to install it in the car itself. All right, now we're ready to install the brain. We did some wiring. So this car has a backup camera that got added to it, so we ran a backup camera for it. So that's the backup camera here. The USB-C comes in the 9500, 8500 box, just run down into the glove box. All it's going to be used for is thumb drives or updating the unit. Here is your OBD2 connector. We just ran down to the OBD2 connector. Comes in the box, looks like this. Just run it down, plug it into the bottom of the dash down there. And then here's a microphone. We ran down the dash, around and up to the top of the A-pillar here. So bundled them up all up nicely. All right, so now we're ready to install the Maestro interface. We're gonna go ahead and plug this into the main vehicle harness. All right, on this plug, on this corner here, where all the speaker wires are populated, the whites, the grays, the purples, and the greens, we want to make sure there's plugs or there's wires on the other side of all those pins. If there's wires on all those pins, that means you're unamplified. If there's only wires on 4 of those pins, that means you're amplified. So if you're unamplified, you're gonna have it like this, white to white, green to green. If you are unamplified, you're gonna put white to green. You're pretty much just gonna cross the connectors. So unamplified, you'll notice that these green wires match up with these green wires, and these white wires match up with these white wires. If you're amplified, they'll be swapped. There'll be white and grays on this side, and purples and greens on this side. So plug that into there. We're gonna plug in our backup camera. All right, we're gonna plug these 3 connectors into our Maestro module. The large 3-pin plug goes in the large 3-pin connector. The green goes in the green. And the black goes into the black. And then there's a 4-pin connector included with the kit. Go ahead and plug that in as well, in the black port, not the blue one, the black one. All right, within the kit there'll be an antenna adapter. Go ahead and plug that in. And then the GPS antenna, just tuck and up on top of the vent here. That's what that's for. You'll only need that for Apple CarPlay wireless. If you're using Android Auto, you don't really need this. You don't have to install if you don't want to. And then here, your connector you ran out of the OBG port will plug into this connector here. We're going to go ahead and, since this has a backup camera, we're going to do rear camera in. We're going to plug it in. I recommend taping all RCA connections. All right, so connectors here. This will go in the RCA connection. This is your antenna. Your USB-C, which goes over here. Your main radio harness goes in here. If you had satellite radio, that would plug into here. Your 4-pin Maestro harness will plug into here. Your antenna connection goes in here. Your microphone wire goes into the red mic port, or the one that says MIC. And everything else will be unpopulated. Go ahead and tuck all this in the dash. All right, now we're ready to install it. So on the brackets here on the sides, you're gonna see these little lips here. This is where it will rest on the front face of this piece of metal, so do not push this in past these lips. If you do, it's hard to get it back out. So we're gonna listen for clicks. Once we put it in, it's a tight fit getting in the dash too because of these bars, but these bars are needed to hold it in this groove up here on the top. So we're gonna slide this bar here, this top edge here, into this gap here on the piece of metal. Hopefully you can see it in the camera. So on the top bar there, gonna slide it until you hear a click. Click, and click. Once it's in there, you'll notice you can't move it around. It's in there and tight. So that's all there is to that. All right, so we're gonna install the screen now. It's best if you have a friend to help. So, in the kit, you're gonna get a extended board like this. Plastic piece unsnaps off the side. You get the board out of it. You flip the doors up on each side. Okay, so they're flipping up like that. You're going to install it on the screen. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. You're gonna push the cable in until it's all the way in, and you're gonna push the bar down. You wanna make sure that that line, the blue line there, is parallel to the connector itself. And the same thing on the other side. Line up the connector, make sure it's fully seated. Wiggle it around, doesn't feel right, so I'm gonna try again. You push the bar down. Make sure the blue line's straight. If it's crooked, you gotta redo it. And snap your connector back on it again. It only snaps on one way, so if it doesn't go that way, then try the other way. It snaps on. Now we're gonna reconnect all your connections. So the ribbon cable, you're gonna be able to see, but we're gonna try to feed it down here in this cavity under the radio itself. Just be gentle, watch it as you're putting it in so you're not pinching it on anything. Around the gear shifter. Line it up, snap it in. You got the two T20s on the top you gotta put back in, the rubber mat. Rubber mat, the trapezoid, so the wider part goes towards the front. Screen off. Sometimes it won't not turn on right away. If you do, you're gonna hold down the power button on the 9500 or the 8500, so let's turn it on. That's all there is to it.